Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show today. In this part of the Cricket Happening Show, I'll be looking at the Champions League T20, which yesterday decided which are the two teams that are qualifying for the tournament proper, and the teams that qualified were Sunrisers Hyderabad and Otago Wolves. Sunrisers Hyderabad of India and Otago Wolves of New Zealand. Faisalabad Wolves of Pakistan and Kandurata Maroons of Sri Lanka would be going back home. So both of them qualified, and both of them will be clashing in a game which will have no consequence tomorrow match, but it will be interesting to see who gets the wood over the other. That is the Otago Wolves match with Sunrisers Hyderabad tomorrow. And today is a rest day in the Champions League T20 2013. So I'll just have a brief look at that, not much, probably just touching the base of it. And today there was another match which was played. This was between India A team and the West Indies A team. And West Indies A team have really done a wonderful job here after coming to India and defeating India. It's not an easy thing, and West Indies A deserve full credit for it. After being 1-0 down in the first match when Yuvraj Singh scored a century, the next two batsmen started scoring centuries. In the second one-day international was Jonathan Carter who scored a century. In the final one-day international of the series, where West Indies won the series 2-1, it was the turn of Kirk Edwards to score a very nice 104 runs. So both the teams scoring centuries. Said it's not easy to beat India in India for any team which is coming from abroad. And I think the West Indies A deserve due credit for doing that to India A, and would like to congratulate the West Indies A team for putting up a brilliant performance with both bat and ball, and also being 1-0 down and come up and beat India 3-1. So that really took some doing, but West Indies A definitely worked out their plans after the first match. And as Kiran Powell, the West Indies A captain, said that they really strategized, and that's what they precisely did, and they executed their plans absolutely to a T, and that's the precise reason the West Indies A team were victors over India A team in this one-day series. Well, the other thing that, as you know, Australia will be touring India to play one-day internationals, and well, it's a very big blow because Michael Clarke, who is one of those best players of spin bowling, won't be a part. I mean, it's still a sort of a, I wouldn't say it's decided that he's not going to be there. It's a doubtful starter as far as the India tour. But I would say that Michael Clarke has to definitely play, because as I said, he's a good player of spin. And as you know, in the last series where when Australia came here to India, they really lost in a big way, and Michael Clarke was the only one who really stood amongst the ruins. So it's very essential that Michael Clarke plays. Otherwise, I think Australia will find it very difficult on Indian pitches. Well, so that's something. So now I'm going to start off with yesterday's match where I left off. As usual, I do that in my Cricket Happening show. We were talking about the match between Faisalabad Wolves, who made a very low score of 127 for 5 of their 20 overs, and Sunrisers Hyderabad, for them, it was really a pretty easy task, considering the fact that the openers of Sunrisers Hyderabad have been doing pretty well. It was once again the same story with 9 overs. In 9 overs, they are already put on 68, the openers. One is the captain of the Sunrisers Hyderabad team, Shikhar Dhawan, who could do nothing wrong, and Parthiv Patel, who also once again showed his aggression, making 23 of 21 balls with 3 fours. But Shikhar Dhawan, let me tell you, he is the one, and he is having a golden run, well, he once again showed the stroke making capability that he normally does, stroking the ball fluently and sweetly. And one of the strokes that really stood out was the stroke that he played of Saeed Ajmal. It was a mere push, but Saeed Ajmal had bowled it on the off stump, and Shikhar Dhawan merely pushed the delivery, and the ball raced towards the boundary, and Ajmal was absolutely, he was really amazed at that shot, because it had so much of timing, It was pure sense of timing, with Dhawan just dropping his wrist and just tapping the ball, and the ball speeding towards the boundary. Well, that was a wonderful shot. So that shows that Shikhar Dhawan is in some great form, and well, I could only say that India is definitely already benefited from his presence. Not only that, but Shikhar Dhawan, what to say, I think he's going to turn out some big scores in the future matches for sure, because that particular stroke was something only great players can play, and I have seen Sachin Tendulkar play such a stroke, but well, Shikhar Dhawan doing that, and that to a Saeed Ajmal. One could understand if it was a pace bowler, because the pace would take the ball to the boundary, but Saeed Ajmal bowling, yes, Saeed Ajmal definitely has some quickness in his deliveries, no doubt about it, but still one has to really applaud that shot, and I thought that was the stroke of the day in the Sunrisers Hyderabad innings. So just waxing eloquent about Shikhar Dhawan. Shikhar Dhawan once again contributed, almost took them to victory by making 59 or 50 balls with 6 fours and 1 6, his second consecutive 50 in the Champions League T20. Dumini was not out on 20 towards the end of 27 balls with 1 4. Samantrai was out for a duck, and Sammy finished it off with 3 fours, making an unbeaten 14 of 6 balls with 3 fours. So 131 for 3 was the final tally, and Sunrisers Hyderabad winning the match by 7 wickets and thus qualifying for the T20 Champions League 2013 proper. As far as the bowling figures were concerned, well, Samiullah Khan none for 36. Asad Ali continued to be very unimpressive, unfortunately. None for 27 of 3.3 overs. Saeed Ajmal 4 overs, none for 25. But the person who really impressed the most was Ehsan Adil's bowling. 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 14. 1 over for 9 runs for Khurram Shahzad and Imran Khalid. 2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 14. As I said, Faisalabad Bulls and Kandurata Maroons of Sri Lanka would have headed home, and Otago Bulls of New Zealand and Sunrisers Hyderabad of India have qualified for the Champions League T20 proper. Well, so now let's leave from there and look at the match between India A and West Indies A. As far as India and West Indies A is concerned, today was the third one-day international match, or the final match of the List A series here between West Indies A and India A. And West Indies A were the ones who won the match by 45 runs, taking the series 2-1. But India were the ones who actually won the toss, and Captain Yuvraj Singh decided to insert the West Indies A in. And one thing before I start, I would like to tell you that it was really surprising. On a weekday at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, there was a huge crowd. So that really says about something, because probably all the spectators wanted to see the Indian hopefuls and all other, especially Yuvraj Singh, in action, and that's the precise reason they were there on the ground. But they were definitely treated to some very good West Indies fare, firstly with the batting, when the West Indies A batted. And West Indies A batted, and they racked up 312 for 8, 9 of their 50 overs. Well, the prime contributor being Kirk Edwards, who played an innings of real character, because what he did is he initially came in, he came in at a fall of Powell's wicket, the captain of the West Indies A team, who was out for 40 of 33 balls with 4 fours and 1 6, and then he had Fletcher keeping him company. And slowly what Edwards did is that he really played, as I said, it's a very nice innings of real character, because he learned his lessons well, and he first was watchful, then slowly started opening out by hitting some boundaries and sixes, and slowly gathering confidence, and towards the end he really accelerated to make a runnable stuff for the West Indies A team, contributing 104 good runs of 104 balls with 12 fours and 3 sixes. Other than that, Jonathan Carter, who made a century the other day, contributed 35 38 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Leon Johnson, who has been pretty impressive according to me in this West Indies A side in this particular one-day series, because he has been pretty consistent with the bat by knocking off 30-40 runs with customary regularity. And today his contribution was 50. He went on to make 54 of 42 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes, and that was a stand between Johnson, Leon Johnson and Kirk Edwards, which was a big partnership which yielded 90-odd runs. Other than that, there was Thomas making 21 of 13 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. And finally, the West Indies, as I said, spurred on by the wonderful century from Kirk Edwards of 104, made 312 for 9 of their 50 overs. The bowling, Vinay Kumar, 10 overs, 1 for 56, but Jaydev Unadkat shone with the ball today, taking a fiver, 10 overs, no maiden, 55 runs and 5 wickets. I thought we bowled very well. He really troubled the batsman, even though he gave some runs. Really troubled the batsman. Siddharth Cole, 7 overs, 56 was really taken apart by the West Indies batsman. Nadeem was very impressive. 9 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 33. Ashraf Pathan, 5 overs, none for 38. Yuvraj Singh, 5 overs, none for 34. And Aparajit, 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 30. So that was the score for West Indies. As I said, they racked up a huge score of 312, and it was enormous pressure on the India A innings. Well, India A definitely started off with the right note with Robin Uthappa hitting some boundaries, and B. Aparajit, the 23-year-old, the under 19. I mean, he has been he has been played in the under 19 World Cup too, and today B. Aparajit really showed his talent. They lost Robin Uthappa quite early, who was run out for 27 of 28 balls with 3 fours. But Aparajit, also they lost Namanoja, who had a very dismal one-day series, according to me, against West Indies. He was out for a duck today to the bowling of Carter. And then it was left to Yuvraj Singh, the captain, and Aparajit to really repair the damage at 46 for 2. And that's what they precisely did. Yuvraj Singh decided to go the aggressive route by hitting lots of boundaries and sixes, and on the other end it was B. Aparajit who was sensibly giving all the strike to Yuvraj Singh when he was there, and slowly Aparajit and Yuvraj Singh started building a partnership, and that partnership was a very vital partnership, and it was doing the job for India A till such time the score reached 158. So it was basically 112 runs partnership between Yuvraj Singh and B. Aparajit. As I said, B. Aparajit looked pretty talented. He was dropping the ball well, in the sense he was playing the ball with lots of finesse. There was a lot of classism in his strokes, and he was looking pretty composed at the crease. But Yuvraj Singh, on the other hand, was taking the aggressive route, and finally Yuvraj Singh was dismissed. So that was the turning point in the game, because Yuvraj Singh was looking good, couldn't read a delivery from Nurse, which actually went on with the arm and knocked off the stumps of Yuvraj Singh. He was gone for 61 of 59 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes, and then Aparajit got some company, but not enough. In fact, Aparajit unfortunately also lost his wicket as Veersamy Permal clean bowled him for 78 of 96 balls with 6 fours and 1 6, and that was it as far as India were concerned. After that, briefly, Jadhav made 17 of 25 balls with 3 fours. Pathan briefly entertaining the crowd with 1 4 and 1 6 in his knock of 18 of 21 balls, and then Vinay Kumar was there towards the end, but it was an onerous task for Vinay Kumar to get the victory, because he couldn't get much support from the tail-enders, and he remained unbeaten on 37 of 38 balls with 3 fours, and India A winning the match. West Indies A winning the match by a margin of 45 runs in the third one-day international, and thus taking the one-day series 2-1. So 267 for 8 was what India A finished with. Let's look at the bowling figures for the West Indies A team. Cummins continued to impress in this one-day series. 10 overs, no maiden, 246 for him. Russell, 10 overs, none for 52 was costly. Jonathan Carter, 1 for 27 of 6 overs. Nikita Miller, 5 overs, 1 for 40 runs, with Yuvraj Singh going after him. Nurse, 9 overs, no maiden, 1 for 42 was impressive. And Permal today, 10 overs, no maiden, 3 for 55. So West Indies A, congratulations to them for beating India A. And as I said, it's not easy to beat India A, the Indian team on Indian pitches, and that's what has really been the feature of this West Indies A team. As I said, they performed brilliantly with both bat and ball. Well, I don't have much time to talk on that now. I would like to talk about something, but due to shortage of time, I'm going to talk to you about some other news, which is the last one on my Cricket Happening show as far as today is concerned. And we are going to have a brief look at the squad that has been selected for the tour of India, in the sense they're going to play one-day internationals, as you know. Australia will be in India in the month of October, and the Australian squad has been announced for that one-day international series. Michael Clarke, as I said, is a doubtful starter, but it's very essential that Michael Clarke plays. George Bailey will be the vice captain. As you know, he's in some good form, as he showed in the one-day internationals against England. Shane Watson, Aaron Finch look to be a real dangerous opening pair, and so Australia will be definitely buoyed up with the Shane Watson, Aaron Finch. I'm really looking forward to Aaron Finch, and you know, Indian wickets are something that Aaron Finch would definitely love, because he really likes to go aerial, and he's a very good hitter of the ball. Phil Hughes also gets an opportunity once again. Adam Bogues is there. Brad Haddin has been preferred in place of Matthew Wade. I thought that was the right decision, because Brad Haddin is an aggressive wicketkeeper batsman. Moises Henriques, the all-rounder, is black. Glenn Maxwell, we all know what an exciting prospect he is. And then the bowling, Mitchell Johnson, as you know, he is a much improved bowler, as he showed in the one-day international series against England. James Faulkner, we all know he has been really improving match by match. Nathan Coulter-Nile, who also made his debut, also gets an opportunity. And then Clint McKay is there. But what Australia have very sensibly done, and I thought that was a good move, of not including the Fawad Ahmed, the right-arm leg spinner. The reason being, Indians are very good players of leg spin bowling, and that was probably the reason that Australia have decided not to include Fawad Ahmed, the right-arm leg spinner. Instead, they have opted for the left-arm spin of Xavier Doherty. Well, dear fans and subscribers, other than that, as I said, that's the only news that I would like to talk about. Other than that, I don't have anything else to share. It's a five-match one-day internationals and one T20 which is going to be played between India and Australia, which is going to kick off on October the 10th. Well, dear fans and subscribers, hope you all enjoyed my cricket show, Cricket Happenings today. Thanks for your company as usual, and this is your host Ram, ending up the show for today, but promising you as usual that I'll be back with more cricket happenings tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.